What's up? Friday edition, March 8th. Correct?
Yep.
March 8th, Friday. Pick Central, myself, Big Ev, Marty Mush. I think the reveal has been made on Clemmer. He's
Live
in
looking at
fucking,
Clemmer.
he's just in a war zone.
He's got 3 hours. He's got just 3 hours left with a little asterisk.
Let's
next
think
to
about it. Yeah. So if you're gonna leave, why leave? And also all the conspiracy theorists. Let's get this out there. No one knew.
I feel bad for helping kind of spread it. Because I was doing it kind of like half.
Yeah, but no one actually knew.
And people are really running with it. I was kind of like,
Yeah, I didn't take yours. I didn't take yours as it.
A lot of it started gaining like kind of a lot of traction. I was surprised.
I saw Jack.
I shouldn't have been.
I saw a guy with some floppy hair and a Giants hat down there yesterday. He may have let the cat out of the bag.
Oh no! I don't think anyone told Clemmer what happened.
Jack Kerrigan.
Oh,
red hair, Giants hat.
My brain.
I think he leaked
New
it.
York Giants. I was like, who the
I think he leaked it. Took a plane in. He said enough is enough for my brother, and he leaked it.
He came in and said, "Hey, Clemmer, no one's been watching you, guy. They're gonna slip you a puzzle. Just go with it." Unbelievable. And now Tank.
Frank!
Back in from
Frank.
Tank is strolling back in.
We gotta address this.
If anyone hasn't seen it,
yeah, I just saw it.
The Tank just made a impassioned speech to what I'm assuming is the board.
It's unbelievable.
Of NJ Transit.
Frank, I just hit the blog. I saw your video.
Tank.
Unbelievable.
Tank.
Unbelievable.
Tank.
Did you think about doing a filibuster?
Well,
and just make him drag you off?
I spoke the time I spoke my piece. I spoke what I wanted to say, and
How long you had that ready to go, Frank?
a couple of days. I noticed that they had the hearings this week, and I saw that the Friday hearing was at Secaucus Station at the same time I'm going through it.
Yeah. When you gave the line, when you said, how about you take Jersey Transit, you see how you like it, I said I haven't laughed that hard. I didn't think it was as perfect a delivery as a league of their own. When Madonna says, hey, tell Mr. Rich Chocolate Man you ain't shutting me down.
Frank, can I tell you something? I'm not even kidding. That you were so well spoken, and all the facts that you were pulling out, we're paying $44,000 for this, $400 million for that. I was got the chills. I was inspired by. I was like, fuck these people.
Clinic.
I said it to Liam. I was like, Frank is like a philanthropist now. I'm like, is that the word? That's the word.
Philanthropist.
Yeah. But Frank, you're for the people, right?
People's champ. That's the people's champ right there.
You think they change anything?
No, they're hard of hearing. They don't even care.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, this is Frank.
And you ask us to pay more. Pay more for trains that are old and breaking down. You come here and ask us to pay more.
It's a wild crowd.
The sickos watching.
Like North Penn Station, which is
Probably
falling
reporters.
apart. And it's falling apart so much that the corporate executives have built themselves a $400 million building next door.
That guy is just like, he don't want the smoke, Frank.
And also, you're asking us to pay for your parking at $44,000 a month. There's your budget. That's where it's coming from. It's coming.
That was my
You're
point.
asking
There's your budget.
us to pay you guys more. You're not paying the engineers. They haven't gotten a raise in 5 years.
Yep.
And you
Talk
have
that shit,
trains that are
Frank.
falling apart. They're old. They're 40 years old.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
People's champ.
And also,
Unbelievable.
Frank,
Champ.
let me ask you a question. Did you wear that jacket because of the viral video, or was just a choice?
He matched the order today.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
All right.
Jacket.
Frank, one last one. I saw this clip. Keith Hernandez, a guy on the Nationals, I think last night, got hit in the ass with a baseball back at the pitcher. He called it a honkus. Where do you rank honkus in terms of slang terms for ass?
I've never heard that one before.
I know. He created it, I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to have to give that a 4.7. I don't
Okay.
think it's a great one.
Didn't love it. Okay.
What's the best one for ass?
Posterior.
That's technical.
I always
All
like
right.
it's simple, but I'm a big fan of just dumper.
Yeah.
The old dumper is
Tur-
it's just funny.
What about
It's always-
turlet, Frank? I've heard turlet before.
Well, no, that's what you call the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Fair enough. All right. Thanks, Frank.
Keep doing your thing. That was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Because they're taking fucking Uber. They ain't.
Yeah.
fucking
No,
using
no.
The
that.
only
Those
person
people.
that can there's people waiting 3 days for a stream to what's gonna happen, and then he's the only person that can take
And
eyes
stole
away
the
from
show.
that and stole the show. And he knows it. He came in here with fucking his dick on the ground.
Yep, he knew.
He came in like,
He's like,
who wants me on their show?
You know.
I said he truly might become the biggest star, not at Barstool, in America. Like he could be. He's just doing everything. The guy.
He's a hero to the common folk.
Yeah.
How many people listen? I mean, this man's making. This man, like, you think all the cameo money he has, he could just take Ubers everywhere.
Oh yeah, he can.
He's a man of the people through and through.
If he's not on the transit, who is?
That's what I'm saying. Like he's there every day at games. Like he's a season ticket holder. All these places. He's not front row.
No.
He's with the people.
The one thing I want is, you know how they had like that show Telemarketers and all those YouTube videos and them acting like wackos and racing the stuff, and I need those videos from him at the courthouse, in the lunchroom,
Pre being
Frank.
who he is now. Yeah.
talking to people, like
I don't even know if we
dialed the fuck
I don't
in,
know if we can.
like, you know.
He said he used to put on some shows at the company Christmas party.
Yeah, I
Just sing
think
for
we
the
need
people.
that. I think we need.
So
that
what'd you
stuff.
guys think about Clemmer? What'd you think about the whole?
Stuff spot.
To me, it's people. I think we're missing. It's not that I'm not saying he lost. It's that he gave Dave the inch he needed to save for the rest of time. He lost.
In fairness,
It's not. I'm not even giving an
obviously-
opinion on it. That's just what's going to happen
He
for the
obviously
rest of time.
doesn't know anything, and like everyone say he saw a cameraman.
The fact that people think it's fake too just blows my mind.
They think everything.
I don't get the fact that people like. How do you think that's fake? Like that's a genuine like.
Sometimes-
when Dave told him that's a genuine like, you could see the gear starting to turn in his head, and like, I'm gonna finish the puzzle. But then he's just like, why would I fucking finish the puzzle? Like, how do you think that's fake?
Did Dave say something on the speaker or no?
Yeah, he came over, on the loudspeaker and was like, nobody's been watching.
That's so mean, but
Stuff.
so funny.
Yeah, I think I don't think anyone. Like I said, I felt bad for kind of leading into it because I think people were starting to run with it a little bit. The only thing that I think changed was when he left the room, and he said this himself. He said he saw a cameraman and heard some people scurry away. I think that might have changed. I think after that he realized, I think people are like watching me.
Yeah. So
Like, I think that gave him the inclination that he maybe is live now.
So right now,
He doesn't know
he
for
thinks
sure,
that
but-
everyone hates him. He thinks that he was trending for the wrong reasons, which I don't know of what reason he was trending, if it was good or bad.
I would say they rallied around him.
Yeah, no, I know, but like it was also trending because it was bad. It was also trending because it was people rallying around him. But right this second, he thinks that he was trending because it sucked. Right? There's no way he thinks that. Like he doesn't really understand why.
I think he just doesn't know because at one point he had said he's like, I hope the people like rallied around me. I think it's just his general uncertainty is why he's kind of like just quiet right now. He just doesn't really know what's going on.
And I'm gonna give Bosco a compliment really quick because if Bosco was in this situation, nothing would be standing in that room anymore. Nothing.
Bosco would have stormed out. He would be like
And he would have
he'd be on
also-
the Verrazano Bridge already.
No. There'd be a couple
be hanging
people.
from
It'd be be a couple people on his way out that he fucking screamed at,
Yeah.
and that's appointment television.
Camera guy's getting shoved like a fucking
Yeah.
like smacking a camera.
Yeah.
away. Like in fucking like
And you
any-
know you would've,
Al
too.
Pacino any given Sunday fucking push the guy in.
Someone
push
may
the
have
guy
a
down
dent
the
in their head
steps.
from it.
Big time.
100%.
Big time. Yeah, it's kind of insane. The fact that he's just in this pickle is crazy. But
We'll end with all this stuff. But I have a game last night that I watched. One of my first games I watched this season of this team. They're the softest, and I wish one of our producers were here today. The Celtics are the softest basketball team I have ever watched. Very talented, of course. The Nuggets have that dog in them way more than the Celtics. They are so fucking soft as a basketball team. They can't win a championship.
Bet your beard on it.
No.
So you don't mean what you say.
No, because I'm done doing that. And you know it.
What do you mean done? You never did it.
I did my head.
Yeah, but you didn't. Yeah, that.
Look what happened. My head never. Yeah, look what
you
happened.
Go through with it.
And no, I did.
No one does it to me. I went through with it.
And
my shit was babies.
Look what happened to my head. I don't have any hair left anymore.
But you never did anyway.
Yes, I did.
Your hairline was going.
It wasn't that going. It
I don't
ruined
think
it.
the shave your head had impact.
Oh, it did.
It was going regardless.
It was ruined. Regardless, I also haven't. It's my first Celtics game I've watched. I keep seeing that they win 30 games in a row. All this stuff. They're soft.
They
You
won
don't
a
think
lot.
they're soft?
Soft. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't. I think soft's probably strong.
I don't know.
mean,
Who's that? Who's the guy on their team that's gonna D you up?
well, they definitely. Well, they lost. Obviously,
Drew Holiday?
they gave up. Yeah, I would say that for sure.
Like
I mean,
he's not like
but Drew Holiday's I think he's a tenacious, tough dude.
I got the wrong guy coaching.
he's still Brad Stevens.
he's there.
That's why I said I speak
He's
for
basically
Bosco.
doing it. He's there.
I mean,
They
he's
showed him
Not
every-
on the sidelines.
He is.
Down 4, he's not running winner.
He probably
He's not running.
it to Missoula, whatever his name is.
I mean, they didn't win as much when he was the coach.
That's inaccurate.
They won.
He was building.
I was watching last night. The Nuggets have more like a fuck you to them than the Celtics.
Well, I think this. I mean, obviously the set like having to guard Jokic is a mismatch for like anybody. Probably especially them.
Well, especially Porzingis is covering him.
I mean, I get what you're saying but they got so much better in my opinion. They just went from they had like a Robert Williams and like a and Marcus Smart, which were like their
I thought
physical
and
guys.
Marcus Smart was a dog out there.
But I mean, Drew Holiday is a dog, and
He
he's
is.
a much better basketball player.
He is, but
He's better
it's-
offensively, and he's honestly probably a better
and
defender.
What is it, Phil?
Or just as good.
Is it people saying that? And this is my guy, so I'm not saying. But are they saying that Tatum's not clutch?
He wasn't listening.
Sorry, I was doing something. What was the
I was.
question?
He was asking if the narrative is that Tatum is not clutch. Your take on that?
Is that kind of that's what I'm seeing this morning? And Tatum's one of my favorite Duke players ever. So I don't know. I don't want to say
Kind
that.
of weird. He's one of your favorite Duke players. He
He
never
went out in the
accomplished much
fucking
at Duke.
second round.
Yeah.
Why
that's-
is he not? What?
That was
I'm
when
not, I'm
Krzyzewski
not like
should've-
you guys and fucking just give up on people when they're not successful.
No, but like, that's kind of weird. I think there's.
How is
better
that
Duke-
weird? You're telling me who my favorite Duke player is?
I mean, you
I'm
should
the
have
opposite.
a
I'm the
bit
opposite.
different
Well,
favorite. Duke
JJ
I
players.
Redick's
buy
my
in on.
favorite
I buy
one.
in on people, and then they become successful.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Guy's gonna win. Guy's gonna win Coach of the Year. I was touting him in April.
He's not going to win Coach
Kyle
of the
Smith
Year.
is.
Kyle Smith's a fucking fraud.
He's just not going to win Coach of the Year. You know who also should win Coach of the Year? Like Shaheen Holloway should win Coach of the Year. Like there's way better
make it,
coaches
yeah.
doing better things than
He
your
didn't
guy.
return a single point to his roster. Utah State has
St.
not
John's
one.
didn't either.
No, that's not true. They
They have
definitely
one guy.
They returned one guy,
So that's-
one significant guy.
point.
I don't.
No points in Utah State.
I think
Utah State was a complete reset. They wiped the slate, and then he repainted a masterpiece.
Oh, I mean,
Masterpiece.
he isn't. Yeah, a man.
They're gonna be a 5. They're gonna be a 4 or 5 seed.
But so if they lose in the first round, is it not
Still a masterpiece to paint
Oh,
that
that's
season. The
just
tournament's
not
super
true.
difficult.
You know that's not true.
Because you already know.
I just think
Well,
like
be
I don't know.
truthful.
I don't know how Tatum is your top guy. Went.
He's
They
not my
lost in the
top.
second
He's one of my
round. He said
favorite
one of them.
guys.
He said
He could be
one of
one of your favorite, not the favorite.
Did I just
said one of
fucking
them.
say that?
Also, it's crazy we're at this point that like if you
Sorry,
can't,
I don't like
you
it.
can't have like any. Now I'm agreeing with you, Marty. You can't have like any respect for a player that played in your team if they didn't win a championship when he was there.
He went to my
You're
favorite.
not allowed to like even like him going.
and I
forward.
liked him.
So all right, Shamik. So you don't like any guys ever because you've never won anything besides.
Yeah, what Met guy do you
I
like?
mean,
that's
like,
like
you like
what
Eli
Met guy
Manning.
do you like?
No, you like Eli Manning and that's it. You don't like anyone else. You're not allowed to like anyone else.
No one.
besides Eli Manning, Justin Tuck, like the guys that, like Brandon Jacobs. that's it.
Unless you admit, I've never heard him admit anything.
No Met player in your lifetime you can ever have any like for.
Unless
They
you
all
admit
suck.
You're wrong about what
In
you
your
said
opinion,
about
they
him.
all suck.
Unless
not one of them.
Unless he admits he was wrong.
David Wright, loser, bum.
Because I
clown,
said
forever.
one of my favorite players.
Pete Alonso, loser, bum, clown. You can't like him. Nothing positive. He's never won shit.
This is your last chance to apologize, and then you can't like anybody.
I have a different view with football than I do with other sports because I've seen my football teams win.
Okay, Mets. Who's your favorite Met?
My favorite Met growing up.
Doesn't
well,
matter because he never won.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll say, yeah, the first person to win me a title, they'll instantly be my favorite player. Whether that's when I'm 60 or where that's like.
But
in
that's
2
the thing.
years.
So I've seen a bunch of titles with the Duke. So
That's what I'm saying.
it's the
Someone
same
like
thing.
Jason Tatum being one of your favorites when you have all that history. That's like.
But
that's-
JJ Redick is like my favorite Duke player. No matter what, is my favorite Duke player. Then Jason Tatum is Jabari Parker is up there. It doesn't matter
you
if
should
they
have
don't
Grayson
win.
Allen higher.
Grayson Allen is up there. They're all one of my favorite players. I have a bunch of favorite players because Duke has always been successful.
Just going back to Tatum. I think a red flag with him is when him and his teammates started publicly like advocating for him to win MVP. It's giving off Embiid-like tendencies where last year the MVP became more important than the title. That's just kind of a red flag to me.
I think that's crazy. I mean, like I feel like you should kind of ride for your guys. No.
I think he should never say anything about it.
That's my
Tatum
point.
said something.
I don't know. I agree. I know. I trust.
Tatum said something. I agree with you. If
His
he
teammates
didn't,
riding for him, they absolutely should.
I think that
His whole team should be like, this guy's the best player in the league, blah blah. But
Yeah.
he shouldn't be. I agree with Phil. He shouldn't be like
well, did he feel or no?
vocalizing his
He did.
campaign for MVP.
What did he say?
I don't have the actual quote, but it's been like around the All-Star break is when it's really started happening.
I mean, they have
Said it, then I agree with you.
they this postseason are gonna have as much pressure as a team's maybe like ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Besides like LeBron trying to win like his first championship.
And I think the
I agree.
NBA is way better than it's been. Like
Yeah, the team. I think there's more like depth in terms of like good teams. Like
In
the
both
West
leagues.
is insane.
Yeah.
and the East has gotten much stronger. Like it's no longer like
It's not
like, the
three
West is
teams.
definitely like deeper, but it's no longer like it's like the West and there's like two good East teams. There's like good. There's
And
plenty of good on both sides.
again, you can't. You guys are hot back there. Pause. The thing about like there's also an East like if they play the Heat again, like Jimmy Butler literally says I'm different in the playoffs. Like he plays
It
different
was great last
in
year.
the
I mean,
playoffs. Like he can do it again. Like and like you said,
They almost beat that. I'm not to cut you off. They almost beat him the year before too.
yeah.
Butler missed that three at the buzzer, or like close
Like
to
you
the buzzer.
said, like the top three last year were kind of like these are the guys who are probably gonna win it, and then the Heat came out of nowhere. But like this year, it's like 1 through 6 is fucking tough in the East, and then 1 through like 10 in the West is pretty
The
tough.
West is nuts right now. There's gonna be like a team or two that doesn't make the playoffs or losing the playing game that you're gonna be like, holy shit! Like that team maybe couldn't have won a title, but could have been like at least dangerous.
Yeah, I'm
Like
looking
the first round or something. Like could have won a couple games maybe.
So the standings right now in the East, it's Celtics. So who? Let's see if can they win a championship. Could you see it? You okay, Bosco?
Yeah.
You're looking at me like
No, I was looking more at the screen.
Celtics, yes. Bucks, yes. Cavs.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Not a championship.
The Cavs' biggest problem is they can't play the two of their top 4 guys together. Mobley and Allen are just
Yeah.
they aren't cohesive.
Magic.
You can't play 2 bigs that can't shoot.
I don't think the Magic,
Magic
can
can't,
either.
no.
They're in 4th right now. The Knicks.
Probably not. If I'm being totally honest.
You got to be honest.
I'd
saying the Cavs and they can't.
at full health, I think like they could maybe get like Eastern Conference Finals potentially, but
At full health, I think we could do it. It's just a matter of we got to see the team at full health.
at
I
full-
can't.
Probably not.
I would say like we'll be respectful.
say right
I'll
now.
say probably not right now.
Yeah, I can't
considering
give you an answer
the
till the end
injuries
of
and
March.
everything. Yeah,
But for right this second, no.
I would say no.
You have to say yes.
I think they could potentially get to the finals.
Like they did it last year.
I think
don't
they
know how
could,
you
I think
can't
they could
say.
get there, and maybe the right matchup they could win it. So I'll say like yes, I guess. But
And Philly, I think, can with Embiid healthy.
another one like at full health, like probably.
Pacers.
Nah, they don't play enough defense.
Okay, so then this is where Minnesota.
See, like
Towns is playing.
A question about the Sixers, but when Embiid comes back, is it going to take him a minute to
Yes.
get right? Like, so
yes. I
is
would
that really
think
that
so.
valid that the Sixers could go all the way with a healthy Embiid? Like
Depends when he comes
he's gonna
back.
have to take a minute.
I mean, it's only that if they can. I mean,
Actually, I don't know, man.
because like I don't
well,
even know if
it
he's
all-
gonna be back before. Like
well, it
he
all
might be back
depends,
in the
yeah.
playoffs.
well,
Like,
that's what I was gonna say. It all depends. Like, is he back like 2 weeks before the playoffs?
Yeah.
Or is he back like for the playoffs?
because then
I
they
mean,
got to
there's-
nurse him back. Like they got to work him slowly back in. They can't just throw him full throttle back in.
It's the only problem is they're gonna have like a tough first playoff series. So
Exactly. They're gonna be
they're-
what?
they're-
They're gonna be the
they're-
last. They're probably
they're-
be a playing team.
They're gonna kind of have to.
Yeah.
Minnesota and OKC.
I go back because I don't know. I'm weird about Minnesota. I think the Thunder, it's tough because they've been so good. Obviously, they've won so many games, but they're
I just
so
think
young.
They're so young. Like I think they're gonna be. amazing.
But Shea Gilgeous, I really believe in, and Chet and those guys. So
Shea's my MVP.
I'll say yes with like some pause because they're young.
Denver and the Clippers, yes.
Obviously, yes.
Pelicans, no.
Yeah, probably not.
Suns, yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, KD could go crazy. Somebody.
Kings, no.
Yeah, not yet.
Dallas, for my sake, yes, but no.
I'd say probably not. Yeah,
They did get better though.
Luka's nuts though, so you never know. Like, if he
Kyrie's
can
also
go.
been like playing pretty well.
Yeah, it's like they have talent.
Golden State, I don't know how you can say no. I feel like they can.
Yeah, they were on a 14-4 run. They lost last night.
Yeah, I'll say
Chicago.
yes because they're playing.
Steph
a lot
got the
better.
ankle injury too.
They got titties too.
And then the Lakers. It's like
Like, sure.
Can you see them? Yeah, but the Lakers are the 10th seed right now.
It's
You know,
tough because
like,
they're always like
that's how good the West
They're gonna
is.
be dangerous. Like no one's gonna like be like excited to play the Lakers.
No,
Besides maybe Denver.
It's got to
Denver
happen last
lost them,
year. Like they will beat the Grizzlies and somebody else, right?
Be the they beat the Kings maybe or no they beat the Warriors right?
Beat the Warriors.
Yeah, they beat the
They
Warriors.
beat the Warriors and the
They beat the Grizzlies and then the Warriors.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure was the order.
yeah. Listen, I'm a little. I got into the NBA a little bit last night, and it was kind of nice. But besides that, college basketball is in full. I took Pacific yesterday, and they scored 9 points.
Unbelievable. The A-Sun is just fucking stealing the tournament right now.
Finals what? Today,
Stetson hits
too?
a step back 3 against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is the 10 seed. No, it's Sunday at 2:00.
Wait,
Sunday,
sorry to cut
so-
you off. This is exactly why teams like the A-Sun and all these other conferences that are really small should do it the week before. Like
Yeah.
how this happens. Do your
Well,
schedule.
they do.
Not all of them. There's some shitty conferences that go next week.
There's a bunch.
Yeah,
of
it's a good point.
Mac-
Actually, you're right. The Big
He's saying
Sky.
that- He's saying they
yeah,
all
they
like
should.
all
All
the
the
all should be going this
Should
week.
be going this week because next week
Yeah.
you're not like you will watch it, but no one's really caring about it. A-Sun, I hate to break it to you, but like next week wouldn't be the story, but this week it is.
Well, what they do is like so the NEC goes now Saturday, and then their final is during championship week.
That's okay. That's
I think
But here's
early-
the,
I think
here's the
early
problem.
next
If you
week
went all of last week, well, I'm sorry, all of this week, Monday, Tuesday, even a little bit, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday day are all like dead
pretty dead, yeah.
because you're getting some Big East game. You're only getting one Big East game.
East
There's
is
no. I don't know if
Wednesday,
there's
right?
Big 12 on Wednesday. There might be play-ins now with how big that conference is. The Big 10 I think starts, but they go Sunday, so maybe they don't start till Thursday
Big 10 is
or Wednesday.
Yeah, but yeah.
Wednesday's like a play-in type of day. It's not really like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
loaded.
It's where like literally
Day. So you do
like the
need
final two seeds.
you do
play
need
and
some
shit.
of these tournaments to be like you need the Horizon Championship to be Monday night. You need the
Oh,
NEC.
yeah,
to
that's
be,
not
you need the
bad.
Patriot to be Tuesday.
I,
night.
no, that's what I was gonna say. They all should end basically by like this coming Wednesday.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, because you're absolutely right. Thursdays is when it really heats up for like
I agree.
the big. It's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, but like the
Wednesday-
MEAC,
Wednesday
the
could
Me-
be-
yeah, Wednesday too.
Because
yeah.
the like ACC second round starts and Big 12 second round starts on Wednesday.
like the Saturday.
Yeah, so end by Wednesday.
If you look at the Saturday slate, you have the Big
So
12.
like end like they should end by Wednesday.
It should end by Wednesday.
If you have the Saturday slate, if you look at it, you have like the Big 12, obviously the Big East, SEC semis, Big 10 semis. You have all the big ones. ACC Saturday night is a final. You have a lot of those finals, but you also have like the MEAC, the Big Sky, the Mountain West. I think is Saturday. Like there's a lot that probably should be featured
Yeah.
earlier.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, I think that because it's almost like the MAC playing on Tuesdays in college football. It's like
Exactly.
we are watching because we have nothing else to watch and we want to watch, and that's why we love it. Like I was watching Jacksonville last night. I would never.
Oh, I
watch
was
it.
dialed the fuck in. Austin P won too. The yeah, it's these smaller tournaments. You see a lot of chaos. It's also good. Like you can get your eyes on certain guys.
If they
You know what I mean?
if they
You're like,
win.
oh, that he has a kid. Like, just I don't know. I think you almost have a notebook or just
Oh, it's
shit
good
in your
for
phone.
like,
Like,
matchups when like you see if like Austin P wins the tournament, like you could see if they match up with someone like, oh, I watched that team.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like studying before the finals coming.
The off the court one, Liam McNeely, 5-star out of Montverde, decommits from Indiana.
That's
So this is a 2-day now
is the Blue
circus.
Bloods conversation.
This
now.
is a 2-day circus now where Indiana says they're going to keep Woodson. Then there's a petition that they want to get rid of him right away. Or there was a petition they want to get rid of him first, then they re-sign him. So now the way I equated it was like, if you believe in Woodson, the chip that he had in his back pocket or the AC had up his sleeve was just let me, like, I'm getting a 5-star and a good recruiting class. Like, you got to at least let him perform with those guys. Now the recruits are backing out. It's like, how do you keep the guy?
But
Plus, with Dusty May and Shirts and a million other coaches available around, like it's a wild coaching carousel. So now you're going to keep Woodson, and he just lost the thing that would have instantly helped him.
But I don't-
He might be punting
I don't
2025.
understand the like he was the one to recruit him in the first place. So I don't think it's any like what would him staying have to do with this like McNeely leaving? Like he was the one who recruited him.
Status of the program. I think if he looks at it, like I think McNeely's a one and done guy, but like maybe he thinks the writing's on the wall. People are in his ear. Woodson's going to get fired, or does he want to be there for a shit show of a season?
That's what it is. I think it's kids now, it's a business decision. Why would you go to Indiana when they're 15-15 this year? And
it's a bloodbath.
Anyone that's coming back, you're not going to make that team. You're not going to be in the conversation. It's a business 100%. Like, Indiana is now not a school where if you're a kid, you're like, holy shit, I'm going to go to Indiana. It's cool, but it's not like the Dukes and the UNCs and the top 5, Kentucky, all that shit still. Like, everyone was like, even, not to bring it about like Duke, Kentucky and them, but like, no one also cares about Mike Woodson. No one does.
Well, no.
You know, like.
But at this point, there's not many coaches, I would say, like, there's not really many coaches at this point that have like that type of clout anymore. They've all retired in the last like.
Even the guys, again, people are gonna think I'm piling on Virginia. Even the guys who have won. Does Tony Bennett have like a massive fucking personality?
It's not even about that. I'm saying more
that's factual.
That's just. I'm saying at this point, the only
if he spoke and you close your ears, you would not be able to tell.
I don't know if his personality. I don't know if he does, but like that's the thing though. Like I think that he's won more recently that you can at least be like. He knows what he's done. It
definitely knows what he's doing, but yeah, it's even. Well, my point is just even the guys who have won don't have the personalities.
But I'm saying the only guys who even have like that kind of like that old school like legendary allure at this point are like Izzo, Pitino, and like Calipari. Like,
yeah, and the crazy thing is, Calipari won 10 years ago. Izzo won 20 years.
Self is even like
Izzo won 20 years ago.
Yeah, there's something just about that old school Italian basketball coach. Patino, he's in that too.
Patino won 10 years ago. Calipari won 10 years ago, and Izzo won 20 years ago.
Yeah,
a lot of them are. It's all the recent guys.
I think it's more just about that.
A lot of guys making waves are guys who haven't won titles. Like no bias aside, like Oates, Pearl, like guys are going to those schools. Kelvin Sampson never won. People are going to Houston. Scott Drew did win recently, but again, I don't even think he has a massive personality.
I don't think it's about
I'm not making it about Bennett.
I don't think it's about the personality. I think when he said no, I thought he was going off was more just that like allure of like that guy's like a guy I watched like Izzo, Pitino. These guys you like. If you were a kid that had aspirations to play D1 basketball, those are guys that you probably aspire to play for. And I agree, Indiana's kind of slid like out of that spot.
I was going off the point of like Ewing, like no one kid cares about Ewing anymore. Like Mike Woodson, like Mike Woods, he's got ginormous hands. By the way, remember when we shook those suckers, Bosco?
I wasn't there for Woodson.
Where the fuck were you?
Taped to pick him, and I got there at about 6 o'clock, and the live show was like 6:15.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, his hands ginormous. But I don't know. Him leaving is good for the kid. Like it sucks to decommit, but like again, he's gonna be probably a one and done. Don't go to Indiana and just waste your time.
But also, I mean, the way that transfer portal is now, like you can be like Bosco said, you can have no guys, and then you can be top 25. Like you can. Like he could, and Indiana's a school you definitely could like bring in good recruits.
Oh, they sure can, and they'll have people coming back because they are.
I've been to the campus. It's a gorgeous campus.
Yeah,
great facilities. Like it's Bloomington's like a phenomenal college town. It's not just like you say Indiana, like oh like whatever Indiana. Like as a college destination, if you go there and like see it on like a visit, you'll definitely be enticed by it.
Yeah,
I imagine
100%.
The other thing I said too is Indiana's in a very tough spot here because like I like Dusty May. I think Schertz is really good. But it's not a lock that they like turn it over.
I mean, I want
Indiana is
after Dusty. Ohio State's.
I know Indiana has, but even if they get him, it's not a lock that he like. Sometimes it doesn't work. Indiana's also in a weird spot now where it's like presidencies. Every 4 years they're turning it over. Archie Miller, we thought he was the star. 4 years, done. Mike Woodson potentially 4 years, 5 years, done. Like what about the next guy? Like if you keep doing this, it's like.
Well, that would be
they better turn it around quick because it's been a long time that they haven't been good.
That would be my defense for keeping Woodson because everybody like it's what you said. Are you just going to keep?
Yeah, but he's not the guy. It's one of those things like he's not the guy.
But you're not. This isn't like your like for people that like grew up in Indiana. This isn't like your parents like Hoosiers.
Why?
No, but all right.
Why is
I'm not saying he doesn't. What?
Why isn't he the guy?
He hasn't had a ton of success. He's older. I don't think he connects with the kids.
Indiana was pretty good last year.
They were really good the year before. Like they've had some like they've been in.
And it's tough. Like
it's almost like they're having like one like down year, and it's like just throw them in the trash.
You can't.
But it's one of those things. They're in the mix.
State loses the first round. Are they a bad season?
What?
We can't put Utah State in Indiana. I know.
No, I'm saying like it does. You can't always say like tournament.
Yeah, but it's like you're Indiana. Like they're dating Woodson and things are going okay, but like they know they're not going to marry him. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't seem like. Could you see Mike Woodson cutting down the nets? And he's an older guy anyway, so it's like one of those.
But if
now
that-
the
but if
older he
that's what
gets,
you
and
say,
you
there's
stay in the middle, it's like.
I mean, but there's not many. Like, if you want to say like actually seeing them cut down the nets, I mean,
Izzo's done it once.
But
know,
but I'm saying that like it could change so fast where you feel that way. Like obviously when he's sitting here with a 15-15 team, no, I don't feel that way. But all of a sudden, I get they just lost this big recruit. But all of a sudden, he brings in a couple guys next year, and they're 17-5 or whatever, and they're like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying all of a sudden a year things could change so fast. We could be sitting here next year and we could be like, oh, like that team, maybe they could.
Yeah. It's even like, dude, Arkansas this year is such
exactly
like a dog shit team, and I love them. I love Ruda and I love Musselman, but like they've had one of the most disappointing years to date. Them, Michigan State, I'm forgetting other teams. That
Miami
disappointing. Like I would say Michigan State and Arkansas are up there for most disappointing.
Michigan State's still going to make the tournament.
And so Michigan State's probably
Still,
the
they
least
were-
just because they're like
They were
in the mix.
number 3 in the
UCLA,
country.
UCLA as well.
Yeah.
Number 3 in the country to start off, or number 4 to start off, and then you're like,
Well, that's again why you shouldn't have preseason rankings. But
Can I
we're
ask
not
a
doing
trivia
that.
question to
We're not
these
doing it,
for you
Rico.
guys?
yeah,
Go ahead, Phil.
Who is the only NCAA coach that's active with multiple titles?
Bill Self.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, it is.
I think
Bill
it's
Self.
Bill Self.
Yeah, Bill
It's-
Self.
I was gonna
Alright,
say if you said Rick Pitino,
I'll give you all of them. I'll give you all of them. Oh, actually, I should have said Patino. You're right.
because he had one
He
vacated.
still counts.
It still
That's fucked
counts.
up.
Yeah, they
Good point.
I don't give a fuck if they
That's
took down
it
the
though,
banner.
right?
That's a good point.
They raised those
Patino
trophies.
and Self, I fucked up
No,
because
you
he said
fucked
the
up.
only coach. Yeah,
I mean, how many
it's
active coaches even won?
That's
a
it.
title?
Seven.
Like
I've said this a million
7?
times. There's 7, and there's now with Saban leaving, there's like 4 or 5 in college football, and one of them, Carolina didn't fire Mac Brown, right?
No.
One of them in Carolina is Mac Brown, and that was close to like 20 years ago.
College
Here's the list in
basketball right now,
college.
yeah.
It's Hurley, Bennett, Drew, Self, Patino,
Calipari,
Calipari,
Izzo.
Izzo. That's it. 7. And again, Izzo 20, Calipari 10, Patino 10, and then the rest are all recent.
Yeah, because
Yep.
then Jay Wright retired, Williams
Yeah.
retired, Coach K
Krzyzewski
retired.
So the days of like relying on the coach, like you saw it last year.
retired.
What was the furthest Hurley ever made it before last year was what? It was the Sweet 16, like once.
You think they're really gonna?
I actually think not the Sweet 16. I think he only made the second round.
But I mean, how many years have you been at UConn now?
5.
5.
Really?
He never made it. He never made the Sweet
past
16 at
the
URI.
Sweet 16?
Pull it up.
But
don't think
I
he
mean,
did.
URI is tough. I mean,
Granted, yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like the days of like, oh, he hasn't won in the tournament, like I can't trust him. Those days are out. The guy's just gonna break through. I'll tell you right
hold
now.
on a second.
What?
Isn't this Mr. If they haven't won in the tournament, they can't do anything?
Yeah.
No,
This
no.
is-
Not,
Oh,
when
no,
did I say
basketball.
that?
Like every day of your
Maybe
life that I've ever
maybe
known
on
you?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I was gonna
What are
say
you talking about?
you're like Mr. Like if they can't, Kyle Smith, Mr. Like no, he hasn't never won.
Like if you had no
Win.
experience in the
Yeah, you're
tournament.
Mr. No tournament experience.
He's never made the tournament. That's the difference.
I mean, he just
The days I'm saying the
just
days of
joined a big
the
program.
days of relying on a ton of success in the tournament, I've now laxed on because we've watched Hurley break through. You watched Tony Bennett break through. You watched Scott Drew break through. I think fucking Mark Few could break through this year. Like you don't need to have multiple Final Fours to win a championship.
Correct.
But it's still fair. You can knock somebody who's never been to a tournament. Kyle Smith's never been to a tournament as well. I'm entitled to doubt him a little bit, never been to a tournament.
You don't doubt Danny Sprinkle.
He's been to 2 tournaments.
2?
Montana State.
Okay, so he's
And also the
like-
darling of the tournament
not
last year,
really been.
Kansas State. He gave them everything he could, lost by like 8 to 12 points.
What does that matter?
That's a great first round matchup. Give him any other 3, he probably beats them.
also
God.
the Montana State's referring to lost. I remember they lost to Texas Tech by like 40.
That was Jerry's pick. That was before we got in on them. But I was Big Sky guy.
The state in the first round is good.
I mean, at Montana State, if you play them to about 12 points, yeah, he played well. He brought over Asabor. Like, they're legit.
Thank God he brought over Asabor.
I don't know if fucking Ev is blowing Kyle Smith. Fucking
No, you
you just hate him.
Sean Penn looking
hate him.
fucking
You
loser.
going back and
hate
forth.
him.
Sean Penn fucking looking loser.
You just don't like him. I was just curious. just that day was funny.
No, I have my
realized
reasons.
why you don't like him.
I have my reasons.
Throwing
Anyway,
frisbees?
Saturday, loaded. Kansas at Houston, UNC Duke, and Kentucky at Tennessee.
So you're telling I wasn't here for the day that you said this. You're saying Duke, UNC, yes, doesn't have the juice it has in the past. It still has the biggest juice in college basketball. 100% unbiased. They are the biggest rivalry in college basketball. They're number 8 versus number 7 or number 6 this week. There's still 2 top programs in the country.
The fact they're both top 10
going
is
for the ACC title.
helping it. But I don't know. I still just don't feel like the hoopla
It's
around it is
different.
what it once was. Ev, you're backing that up too.
No, I kind of agree with Bosco a little bit.
I don't know, but who's
I also
name
think-
something
no,
bigger. Name something bigger.
I'll be honest,
Listen,
you can't.
Hold on.
I don't think they should do game day both times.
They're the biggest
It is still
thing.
I
It
feel
is
like it's a
still
little like they're
hold on.
shoving it now. A little.
It's the
like-
biggest rivalry traditionally. That probably won't.
That's accurate.
When you think of like Duke, UNC, like in the same way you think like Ohio State, Michigan, like whether like when Ohio State was beating the piss out of them or like it's switched the other way, whatever. It's always it's like the biggest one. But I think UNC Duke. I think it's really Coach K left. I think that's really what it is.
Well, this is the
Coach
thing.
K not being a part of it
Coach-
has made Duke much less hateable. They're not even likable. They're just less hateable because people love to root for Coach K to lose, his little antics, whatever. Him being gone, I think that's really that's the root of it.
That's the thing, though. So, when even Harbaugh leaving Michigan, it's still going to be big, but it's still, he was only there for how long?
Well, that's if he
He was
leaves.
there for a while.
That's
He was
if-
there for like almost 10 years.
That's if Harbaugh leaves Michigan.
Did I say that?
Did he leave? He left? Confirmed?
What's-
New report, old report. He's definitely out.
What's happening?
No,
I don't
he's
know.
literally.
It's-
This is a live feed. He is just reading his encyclopedia. He's not. I don't know.
What are you,
I can't really hear
Booze,
what's.
What are you talking
Booze. We're talking about Jim Harbaugh.
Oh,
We're-
that's hilarious.
Dude, Bosco was making, I don't know what.
Being a
he's trying
dick.
to-
You don't
yeah.
want to talk about J.R. Richards' 1978 season?
I'm just saying, with Duke UNC, you have Shire in his second year, obviously, and Hubert Davis in his third year. It's going to take a couple more. They're both going to be there for a long ass.
I have a recommendation.
What?
How about a little fist fight this game?
Well, the thing
Let's
is,
spice it
I
up.
think.
I need a bloody. I need fucking Baycott with a bloody nose.
Can I tell you what made
I
me
need
really happy?
Filipowski. I need Filipowski like something. I need the two of them to scrap.
What made me really happy?
That's what we need.
Fucking made me really happy when Filipowski got almost trampled and survived it like a warrior. It made me happy how much people were talking shit.
Where is
about
it?
Duke.
It's
At Duke.
It's at Duke, this one?
And let me tell you, next year,
What do we think the line is?
I would say -4 Duke.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Next year, I want you to watch. This rivalry is going to be with Cooper Flag and how good we're going to be. And did you see the video of the Evans guy going after the UNC kids in high school?
Yeah.
Was awesome. These guys are chirping next year. I'm telling
Love
you,
that. I love
when
that.
it gets more, I think, and my point was, Rico, you're not completely wrong. It has lost a little juice, of course, because of Coach K, I think, like you said. But who is the biggest rivalry in college basketball then? If
It's
it
still
wasn't
that.
them, right?
Still
That's
Oh,
where
of course,
I think it's still
it is.
them, and I don't know who is even second
Yeah, but who's the biggest rivalry in baseball?
in baseball.
Yeah, it's the Red Sox and the Yankees. And you
That's
could accurately say that
That's
has
lost for sure.
that has lost juice.
I think that's it's
So that's all I'm
college
saying. It's
basketball-
still
I
I think
number
it's-
it's
I
still
think
number
it's-
1,
I
but
think
it's lost
more
its
of, like
juice.
it's just not at its like current peak.
It's yes.
Like peak
And-
was like them like UNC spoiling his Coach K's last game
Yeah.
was like peak.
peak.
Like especially a UNC team that wasn't good. They were 12-point underdogs, whatever they were, and won easily.
And the problem was last year UNC wasn't good, and that's why it went down a second. But now this year they're both top 10. It could if they just keep it if these coaches keep going top 10s every year, it's just going to be back at the same spot.
They gotta have some classic. They need this new regime. They need a great ending to a game. They need a classic game, an Austin Rivers type
Austin
shot.
Rivers,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? They need a big shot,
Trey
or
Jones
a little
fucking doing that.
a scrappy game. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little fight breaks out, or they need something like that to spice it back.
Who's
up.
going to be the biggest rivalry besides them? I think I have one. And I think it's going to end up in a couple. It's going to take a little bit because rivalries take a while. whatever happened. But Houston, Kansas.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's gonna
I
be
mean,
like in like 10 years. That's gonna be like a.
I don't know if Self's still around in 10 years.
Oh yeah, he is.
I think he
Young
would be.
dude.
10?
How
He's
old is
young,
he? I was gonna
dude.
say, what is he like in his 50s?
I don't think he's in his
I think
50s.
he's 60.
Is he 60?
He's a lifetime contract.
Is he like 60? Like probably like 60 on the dot. maybe?
61.
Okay, so
10 years. It's like
He could do 10.
61 years of age.
Well, I don't know then how long Samson's a lot older than Self then.
uh,
Maybe he just looks older, but I don't think
Does look
Samson will be.
I would guess Samson's around the same age.
68 years of age.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow, way older. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's the one you got to worry. He won't be around in 10 years probably. That they need to get a ring before he gets out of there. This could be the year. I really would like. I
they're
like
starting to get a little
this-
pressure
this-
on them
thi-
too.
this
being
would be
this good. And
this would be so chalk, but I really would love a UConn Houston championship game.
I
That would be incredible. It really would.
Just a heads up, Danny Sprinkle, 47 years of age.
when people say
There's a
I
little-
love chaos in March Madness, correct? I love it. I not gonna lie, hated last year's Final Four. Hated it. I love the year before that when it was Villanova, Kansas, Duke, and
Yeah.
was fucking awesome. I don't care if you want chalk.
Yeah,
I
but you
get
could say that. But
no, but
Nova got run out of the building, and the game everyone hated, San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, gave us the best ending of the entire weekend.
I could be. I'm not even saying
So
I'm.
you never know what's
completely-
gonna happen.
Of course you don't. But like this year, there's a lot of good teams like at the top, like Tennessee, even Tennessee. I'll even say UNC and like Arizona. Like there's so many of these good teams. Like I kind of want to see them play in an Elite Eight to the championship.
Well, you want. I think. Well, you want chaos early, and then you want chalk late.
You want
Whatever
chaos
you
to
want.
the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Sweet 16.
Like you're right. You want to see like that's what I'm saying. I want to see UConn Houston. I want to see who, in my opinion, are the two most consistent best teams.
I just want to see the teams I bet on win, personally.
I agree,
You
Phil.
feel? I like
Kind of
that.
amped too.
I haven't
agree.
seen that in a long
I
time.
know Marty gets mad at it. The Elite Eight this year on Sunday is Easter Sunday. I kind of like. I think Easter is a very much like a now what do we do on TV type day. Seems like there's kind of unless you sometimes you get the Masters.
I was gonna say, isn't the Masters?
it's not
on?
always. It's not
Not
always.
always,
It's not
sometimes
always.
it
But you
is.
can get the Masters. You can get like whatever.
Wait, the Masters is
It's
what?
usually
It's saying
baseball.
sometimes it's on Easter.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
always.
it is.
Like last year, Cookie Carrasco got shelled on Easter, and we flipped back to the Masters.
Yeah, exactly. But
Baseball starts what day?
I think the
March 28th.
It's March Madness. Am I crazy or is it later?
it's a
this
later. It's a later year.
Really
Easter's-
late, right?
No, it's.
I mean, the
it's-
championship
happens.
game's April 8th, which is
20,
usually the
2013, the selection Sunday was on St. Patty's Day as well.
Easter's March 31st.
Your brain's the best.
It's fact.
Thank you for telling me 2013. I love that. I actually do.
Factual.
I love that.
Oh, maybe it was 2014.
Oh well, now
No, I think it was
this
13.
is where I have problems.
I think it was 13. But yeah, it's late. It's definitely later this year. But Easter, I feel like Easter, you kind of like you eat whatever. You're sitting around. All right, there's maybe a baseball game. It's freezing out to a degree sometimes. You're not really excited about the game. Now we got 2 Elite Eight games back to back on Easter Sunday. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm with it. I feel like I
Wait,
haven't.
so this is on Easter Sunday, Elite
Yeah.
Eight?
Elite Eight.
Really it is.
I have a healthy debate about this topic. I hate sports on holidays because I don't like being around my family when I watch sports because I have to pretend like, oh, I don't care that much. When deep down, it's like I care about it.
Yeah, but
very
it
much.
gives you something to do to avoid awkward conversations with your family.
Yes, but I can just look at my phone and do that. I
It's
don't-
also the thing where
if they see a game on, they're losing. They're like, wow, they're really bad, and that's kind of been my life. So
it's also the thing where it's like you and your uncles and your brothers and like everybody's sitting on the couch. Like, oh, where are the men? They're in the back watching the fucking game.
That's how
Ain't
my,
getting
that's
up.
how my house is. So I've never. Yeah,
like
it's
that
like
Yeah.
too.
it's like me, my dad, and my grandpa in there. So like no one's in there like oh like saying like making like weird like comments about the game. Like no one's like the people in my house that are watching it. My dad and grandfather also have bets on this game.
Yeah.
So it's
Let me
never
ask
a
you,
thing.
it's different styles of family, so it depends on like where you're raised.
But
I
you know
guess.
the other they know to stay. They stay in the. There's a TV in the kitchen. A little more. They make the women mingle in there.
Let me ask you guys a question because this is the best thing about college basketball and March Madness. I'm going to tell you a couple of numbers of to win the national championship. And they're like really fucking good teams that have huge numbers to them. Ready? Even like Auburn 22-1. Duke's 22-1. Marquette 25-1. Kansas 30-1, Alabama 30-1, Baylor 30-1. BYU I think is very good, 60-1.
Who's the favorite?
UConn at plus 500.
UConn and Houston.
Houston 650, Purdue 750, Tennessee 10-1. Even if you go down, Florida 70-1, Texas is 100-1, Gonzaga 75-1. Like there's huge odds on teams that can put together a fucking run in March.
Yeah.
Like Kansas, I love Kansas, but like 30-1 is that's a value bet right there. They have arguably their top 5 starters are up there with the best of them. They just don't have a bench, which is a problem.
I've had a hard time with it because I wanted Baylor and Florida have been the teams that I wanted to put futures on, but it's more. I feel like the last few years I've had like good reads of like teams that have gone far.
I grabbed Baylor,
But I really feel like the problem. And Baylor's a team that I really think could go to the Final Four and like do something there.
I think Florida
even too.
Well.
I feel like
70-1, dude.
My problem is I really feel like the reason they have 2, well, really 3 with Purdue, but I'll say 2, like such high odds in those teams, is because it's tough where like we've seen it like previous years where teams will make these deep runs, but then like the best teams just win at the end. And I just when I keep thinking about the season, I keep almost not being able to picture like anyone else but like Houston or UConn like raising the trophy.
So that's why I've took Auburn to win already, Kansas to win, and Duke to win already. I'm stopping there until the bracket comes out and I could see people's paths. I don't.
That's what I'm waiting for too.
Because you'll still get good. You'll get less than your numbers probably now, but like you're still gonna get really good numbers of people's path. It's too important. Like even UConn can get fucked of who their 2 and 3 seeds are. Like Arizona, Houston can get fucked with the seeds who their 2 and 3 guys are. So. I'm waiting until the tournament comes out. I do early ones and then to wait till Wednesday to place one. I can't wait, dude.
Next week's gonna be
next week.
Conference championship week.
Us 3 will be in Chicago, streaming with everybody. I don't know what they're gonna do Thursday here, but we're gonna do a show out there, Rico, Friday.
Okay.
Pick this show.
Just lead into the stream, yeah.
Lead into the stream.
That's a good point.
But you guys see Russ's fucking.
So he's had a
talk to the Giants.
Conversation with the Giants.
I did have that. That was the last one. He's talking to the Steelers and the Giants
and the Raiders. Can I tell you something? I'm not proud of it, but my initial reaction was okay.
I think he's better than Daniel Jones. I don't think he's like great.
How many years would you want to sign him?
He is miles better than Daniel Jones. What are you talking about?
Do me a favor right now, who was ever on the computer. I did this on the rundown. Look up Russell Wilson's numbers last year. Very good.
They were very good.
They're good.
Very good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, but they are good box.
He threw 1 less touchdown than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
It was 30-8. I think 30 touchdowns, 8 picks.
But I saw something that his I think it was such a crazy percentage of his passes were basically at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was.
It was like a disgusting. Like it was basically the point. I saw Warren Sharp did like a breakdown on it. And essentially, it was very clear that Sean Payton just didn't trust him like whatsoever.
Yeah, this is what I was gonna say. There's a difference between watching a box score and watching a guy actually play. Like he did good with what he was given. Like they didn't trust him to air the ball out at all.
Literally,
Sean Payton couldn't
literally what they did was, and if you like think back to watching them, you'll like realize what I'm saying. Their whole offense was like check downs and then like the occasional just like deep ball to Cortland Sutton. Was there like no intermediate, no like 10, 20, 30 yard. It was literally just like check downs and then just like the occasional deep ball.
But in the last 2 seasons, I guess besides Daniel Jones' injury, how many touchdowns has Daniel Jones thrown?
But I mean that's not
compared to Russell Wilson.
I mean, but that's not like an end all be all stat. Like you can't just be like, oh.
But what I'm saying is like, would you rather have Russell Wilson than Daniel Jones?
I mean to be honest, I think at this point I would say their best. Jones might be his ceiling is like higher, but I mean I just don't think they both like.
I don't know if his ceiling's like. I feel like he's hit his ceiling.
I mean how I wouldn't say that, but I mean he was bad last year, but I mean I'll put it this way: he was better 2 years ago than Wilson was 2 years ago. Like 2 seasons ago, he was 100% better. I mean, my point is more that they're both kind of just mid. Like that's more my.
I want to toot my own horn. This is November 21st, 2021. This is a Meek Phil tweet. Are we sure Russell Wilson is even an upgrade over Baker Mayfield right now We have about a season's worth of games since week 9 the year prior of him being a below-average quarterback.
He was bad in Seattle that last
So,
year too.
I've been down Russell Wilson since like 4 years now.
I feel like everyone kind of.
I was ahead
That
of
was
the curve.
early. That was early.
Little
I'll
early.
give Phil credit.
Wait,
that
are you
was
saying
early.
that you were saying that Dan Jones has a higher ceiling than?
Yeah, I think he's a higher ceiling, but I
He's
just
only
think.
played
But realistically, they're both like mid.
for
But
sure. Yeah, it's a hard. It's just a. It's not a quarterback where I'm like, oh wow, we're gonna be really good now. It's like we should.
No.
If we're gonna get Russell Wilson, we should just fucking draft one.
well, no, but I think they still. I think signing Russell Wilson, you still would probably if you really like
Over a
someone,
wide
you still would
receiver?
draft him. No. I mean, I don't know. There's. It all depends on where the board falls.
I think the Giants don't fucking know what they want to do. They have
No,
no idea.
I think they do. I think they because I think if they stay there, I think they probably go receiver. And if there's a scenario where like Drake May falls or like something, I think they would do that.
The
But
plus with Russ is you're just gonna take league minimum because he's still being paid. by the
that's
Broncos.
what I was gonna. Thank you, Phil. That's like where it's you basically can sign him for a year, pay him literally nothing because the Broncos are paying him his whole salary. So to me, it's kind of like it's if he sucks, like who cares? Like you're paying him
Yes.
nothing. The Giants already were in a bad spot quarterback wise. Like
And let's say you move
Whatever.
off Daniel Jones, you could have Russ start and then draft a quarterback to be a backup.
yes, agreed. That's kind of more the point I would say. Although I don't know if I just do wonder how Russell would come in to like the Giants because I've heard so much shit about like him just kind of being an asshole in like Denver. But it's all things he couldn't do. He's in such a different situation where they'd given him all this money. He like demanded his own office. He said he wasn't very like reachable. Like almost even like his teammates had to like go to a guy just to like get to him. Like his own like teammates can't like call him personally. Like that's just like insane behavior to me as your team's like starting quarterback.
I just want to play a game here. Let's say Russell Wilson goes to Pittsburgh and Kirk Cousins goes to Atlanta. Where does Justin Fields get traded?
I would say probably the Raiders, Minnesota maybe.
They wouldn't trade him in division. I highly doubt that.
I think, but now if we're getting deep now, where two of their main suitors are out of the table, I think that would now be like on the table again.
I don't think it would ever be on the table because let's say Justin Fields tears it up in Minnesota and you face him 2 times a year. I don't think that's a risk they'd want to take.
But I mean, it's already like you're getting rid of him. Like you need to get best available you can like for him. Like you're not gonna like I don't think you're gonna go like a full round later of a draft pick to like not like you're trading him. You're already saying you don't think he's like gonna be good.
Or maybe
so how are you gonna like that's like a more fan like way to view it. And I don't blame you because there's part of me that does see it that way as well. Like. You don't love to make these trades like in any sport where like interdivision, but
or maybe it's given like a Viking tax, like they have to pay more than what the other.
yeah,
teams
no,
want.
that's my point. Like if they're gonna have to pay like if you're trading obviously if it's like all even, you're gonna trade them like the Raiders over the Vikings, say for example. But if the Raiders are offering like a third and the Vikings have like an early second, like you're not gonna not do that. Like you're gonna take that pick every time. But I mean I'm trying to think of other teams. They're also going to be the Broncos maybe. They could be potentially like I'm teams that just need a quarterback. They don't have one and don't have like a high draft pick.
No, there's going to be a lot of teams with new quarterbacks next year, so it's just something to think about.
I think they're just waiting for like Russ to sign and then like Kirk Cousins to sign and then I think Fields will be kind of like after.
There's going to be one guy to be the domino, and I think it's going to be where Kirk goes.
Yeah. Picks for tonight. I'm going to take Mercer minus the 4. Fade Citadel. Just give me Mercer minus the 4. Ev.
I've legitimately been so fucking bad.
You
like
really,
literally just
I'm gonna be
fade me.
honest. You are.
I can't win. Like everything I pick,
Like,
it just
you
loses.
really are a good gambler, but you are.
I'm hurt.
dog
I'm
shit.
awful. I'm literally even giving one bet a day. I can't even win that. I'm gonna go. Like literally, I should retire. Like I should literally I need to retire.
I'm going Indiana State minus 11.5. They are the better team. I watched Missouri State yesterday. Murray State might have been the worst basketball team besides Pacific yesterday.
Murray State used to be really good.
They scored 14 points in the first half, and I just kept betting them live, and it just wasn't even fucking close. So I'm going Indiana State. They're also that – I'm a little nervous because they're that team that everyone wants in the tournament. I'm also going with Mercer minus 4.5. I've watched
Got 4.5.
Yeah,
Got 4.
I've watched the Citadel. They're just I think they're dog shit. I'm going VCU plus 7.5 against Dayton. I that's just a rivalry game. I love that. Love them, and I'm going Drake minus 13.5.
Okay.
I'm taking VCU also. VCU plus 7.5. That's the play of the day.
It's a lot of points for a rivalry game, and
Yeah.
VCU won already. They beat them already?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Phil, anything for the weekend? Big picture stuff?
No, just a normal weekend for Phil, just watching games.
Who's going to cut down the nets in April right now?
Danny Sprinkle.
You're a dick, Phil. You're a dick. Give us a real answer.
Duke.
Attaboy. You know, that's
All right,
my
that's Pick
guy.
Central. See you Monday.
It's my guy, Phil.